Do people really need to take supplements? Supplements is it's a big industry, to be fair. A lot of people take supplements. A lot of people are or certainly believe that they need to take supplements, and especially as we get older, we're more susceptible to that belief. When we're younger, we're less susceptible to that belief, and there's a lot of science and research and data around that. But what I'm going to do is stick to what I found in the NHS with regards to taking supplements and what their advice is on taking supplements. And this is about helping people save money, understanding why or why not they may need to take supplements. It's basically enhance wellbeing and health and all that kind of stuff, which is what we like to do here. And this is part of the environment thing. If our environment gives us what we need, we don't need to supplement it. If our environment doesn't give us what we need, we may need to supplement it. So let's have a look and dive in. So according to the NHS, most people do not need to take vitamin supplements and can get all the vitamins and minerals they need by eating a healthy, balanced diet, which you can do by using the Eat Well plate as a guide. Now, I have a version of the Eat Well plate that I've taken from the British Association of Nutrition's website. They've got probably the better ones I've seen. And certainly as a guide for understanding how to eat well, and from my professional experience in wellbeing and nutrition coaching, it's definitely worth having a look, and it's one of those that's worth printing up and sticking in your offices at work, sticking in the kitchen, and really setting up that environment so that people can start to relate to and have conversations around that, because these are healthy conversations to have. Also on my Pinterest board. On my Pinterest board there are posts alluding to this, and I have a whole thing on macronutrients, which is around the Eat Well plate and all that kind of thing. And again, all the information is taken from the NHS, from the British Association of Nutrition Therapists, from my own qualification in personal training and nutrition. So it's all very credible, and none of it's dietary. It's not dietary based, as in we're going to stick you on a diet, because to me, and certainly in my experience and from everything that I've read, the diets, just unless they're given to you medically by a dietitian, they're probably not worth your effort. And there's better ways of doing stuff. That's not to say that people don't find success on diets, but that I'm trying to spread the message here that they're not necessarily necessary, and that actually just thinking about eating well in general and keeping it affordable is certainly, as the cost of living goes up, is a more realistic view and a more realistic way of trying to move forward, and certainly supporting an environment and a workplace environment in moving forward with that. And these are 3 ways you can help colleagues. So vitamins and minerals such as iron, calcium and vitamin C are essential nutrients, and this means your body needs these in small amounts to work properly, and these are common supplements that we see. But many people choose to take supplements, but taking too much or taking them for too long could be harmful. So vitamins and minerals, so vitamins such as iron you'll get from red meat, you'll get from a lot of green vegetables. It's the best way to absorb iron is through vitamin C, so eating things like tomatoes, peas, green vegetables, citrus fruits, they're all high in vitamin C. So if you're having a plate of salad with beef, for example, you're getting iron, you're getting your vitamin C, you're getting your iron. It's a really good balanced way of doing that. So that would mean then you wouldn't need to take supplements, because you're eating it within your diet anyway. And again, just knowing things like this can start to make things a lot easier. Rather than going shopping for supplements, you're shopping for food that actually works much better. Our body breaks down food much better than it uses supplements. And there's a lot of science and research done that's behind that. But ultimately, any medical professional will tell you that actually your diet, first and foremost, is more important. If you can't get what you need from your diet, or there is stuff missing, then it is for a medical professional, certainly someone who is more qualified than I am, or your regular seller of diets online, to be telling you that you need to do something else. This is a very personalised, tailored area. So the Department of Health and Social Care recommends a certain supplements for some groups of people who are at risk of deficiency. And again, this is from the NHS website. And I've pulled some things from Harvard Health and general other science, like the Journal of American College of Cardiology, things like that. So when I'm reading these things out to you, these are all coming from things that people who are qualified to publish this stuff online from medical good for you. And I just find it generally is just good advice. And certainly when I've coached clients, this is I tend to find out or discover along with them what it is they think they're missing, what it is they think they need, and how best to get that need met. So the Department of Health and Social Care recommends certain supplements for certain groups of people who are at risk of deficiency. Harvard Health has stated that supplements are never a substitute for a balanced, healthful diet. We know people are struggling to have balanced, healthful diets, especially with the cost of living going up. So supplements may well be a viable intervention for that, for want of a better expression. If you are struggling to have a more well-rounded, adjusted diet that definitely meets all your needs, then maybe supplements have a place for you. But if you can focus that energy, that time and that money into eating food in the first place, a more varied array of kind of fresh food. They all tout the Mediterranean diet. It's come up time and time again in lots of research, whether it's been the blue zones, which is where it's the longevity of people's lifespans, and whether it's been just general health altogether, reversing diabetes, type 2 and other things like that. Research just seems to consistently show that the Mediterranean style diet tends to be the best that we've got, and you can do that vegetarian, vegan, omnivore. I wouldn't recommend carnivore, but again, personal preference. A lot of people do tout the carnivore diet. I think, like anything else, when you're missing out essential nutrients and focusing just on one area, then by definition you're missing out on stuff. And I think you put yourself at risk, and certainly all the science and the publications and things around food definitely point towards that thing. And if you are thinking of going keto or carnivore or anything like that, I would just say to you, do your research and speak to someone professional who definitely knows what they're talking about, not someone who's got something to sell you necessarily, because by the virtue of the fact they've got something to sell you, they've got a bias towards that. So there is limited evidence that supplements offer any significant health benefits. In fact, a study published online on May the 28th, 2018 by the Journal of American College of Cardiology stated this. Taking supplements cannot undo the negative effects of an unhealthy diet, and research shows that supplements do not help or stop or improve heart or circulatory diseases, and in some cases supplements can even be harmful. And I took that straight from the British Heart Foundation website. So some supplements can also affect the medicines you are taking, causing side effects. And for example, vitamin K, omega-3 and St. John's wort all interact with the blood thinning drug warfarin. Again, I'm not giving medical advice here, and I'm not telling you what you should or should do or should or shouldn't eat. I'm saying if you are not sure, speak to someone who is definitely qualified in this area. But the best advice that can be given to you to anybody as a whole is have a well-rounded diet that is plenty of plant-based foods, there's plenty of fibre, that is all your proteins, and whether you get that from vegetarian, vegan or meat sources, that's a personal preference to you. Just make sure you're getting them in there so that you keep a balanced diet. And protein supports cognitive function and certainly the ability to concentrate and all these kind of things, which is why and I'm going to go for a bit of a tangent here, just a bit of a warning, when we look at cults and religious extremism, then we start to see that things like protein start to be pulled away from the diet, and certainly protein from meat sources. And the reason for this is it makes the brain more pliable and susceptible to believing whatever wants to be basically sold to that person. Because the ability of critical thinking starts to reduce, so the prefrontal cortex, which is where all your executive functions are, starts to kind of come offline a little bit. And there's a lot of research that's correlated to veganism and the lessening of IQ. And again, that's to do with protein, it's not to do with being a vegan per se. So I'm not shouting this out into any culture that might think that I'm having a go. I'm certainly not. It's to do with protein specifically, not veganism. It's just that there's a good research example that's been that's been done with this, certainly within the sports world. So if we look at people like Charles Polkman, who trained many athletes at Olympic level for a long time, and he did a lot of stuff around and researched a lot of things around protein and the building of muscle. So we get that information from people like him. And he's advised that also you talk to your doctor before spending money on supplements. Because sometimes you can be prescribed them as well. I've certainly had B vitamins prescribed before by an independent doctor, and sometimes that's really helpful. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it might be cheaper to do it without prescription. I don't know, but again, my advice to you is speak to your doctor. So for the rest of the content on this, I'm going to leave this video nice and short. And I'm going to leave you with that because I think I've left you with a lot there anyway. The takeaway here is if you can eat a fresh, balanced diet, and even just shopping at Aldi and Asda and Tesco and all those normal places, certainly in the UK, if you're American and you live elsewhere watching this, I wouldn't know where to advise. But ultimately, it's not about organic and expensive food. It's about fresh food that you can get readily available, that you can use and eat. Vegetables are best cooked rather than raw. There's a lot of, again, science and research around that, by the way, that we digest the benefits, or the health benefits that they give us, which again, going back to the Mediterranean diet talk, everything is cooked. They eat very little raw. I know this, I used to live on the Mediterranean. It was definitely a very fun time. But you do need to have that imbalance. If you can't and you are struggling to have that imbalance for whatever reason that is personal to you, then maybe supplementation will help, and then that's when you go and have that conversation with someone who is qualified to have that conversation with you, which isn't me. All I can do is share advice and the foundations of what nutrition is, and you can take that advice and use it for yourself. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please like, subscribe. You can subscribe to my newsletter as well to see if you don't want to subscribe on YouTube, and then whenever I release a new video or new content, you will be notified, or you'll at least know. I do write articles. I have Nutrition Mondays every Monday across LinkedIn. I have it on Instagram as well. Instagram is a personal account. It's Samantha Thomas Official, and I have Pinterest, which again is a personal professional account. And again, I'll leave all those details down below for you. If you did enjoy this and you did have something to take away, or even just a ton of questions, please feel free to comment down below. I'd love to start interacting with you and finding out more about what it is that you want to know, so that I can definitely provide, or certainly locate the information the source of information for you to make your life as easy as possible. Thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.